Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. Super excited, as always, to connect with you today. Today, we are talking about how to set pricing for your continuing nursing education courses. This is a very frequently asked question for me. People are always asking a couple things. Teresa, how much money can I make as a nursing CE provider? And the other is, how do I price my nursing continuing education courses? So today we're going to dive into that. So as you pop in, please feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're catching me on the replay, comment hashtag replay. But pricing is one of those things. It's there's no one size fits all recipe or strategy for setting pricing on your nursing CE courses. Now, that being said, people have asked me, Teresa, how much money can I make as a nursing continuing education provider? Okay. Well, if you don't, maybe we don't know each other yet, but my story is that I grew a hospice nursing agency that my husband and I launched years ago, grew it to 3 million from just a $6,000 investment using only nursing continuing education as a vehicle for marketing. Okay. So that being said, what I was looking for as return on investment was not payment for nursing continuing education courses. I was looking for referrals. I was looking for to impact the length of stay that patients were on hospice, the length of time we got to serve them. And so my focus was providing nursing continuing education to all of the facilities in our 5 county area and teaching them what they needed to know about when to refer a hospice patient, what my patients looked like, how I could serve them if they got started with hospice sooner rather than later, and all of those kinds of things. Okay, so it's important to know when you're thinking about pricing, what is your ROI or return on investment? What is that? What does that look like? Are you looking for that as just, returns on course sales? Are you looking to perhaps book speaking engagements? Because there's a lot of different ways that income can come to you as a nursing CE provider. So what I ask you to do is take into account of um, how you're going to measure your ROI. Because for me, my program was worth $3 million a year, right? My CE program for the hospice was worth $3 million a year in patient referrals. Does that make sense? I never charged a penny for nursing continuing education unless we were holding our annual conference, in which case I just kind of stayed competitive with what was going on in the market. Okay, so here are a few pricing strategies that I want to go over with you today. So again, first things first, we talked about there's no one size fits all. Okay. First thing I want to get into is what not to do. Okay. So don't think of the huge financial investment that you've made in your nursing education and training, perhaps any certifications that you've gotten. That really is not going to be a huge factor in the pricing of your courses. Okay. You cannot expect to recoup everything that you have paid out for your formal education through your CE courses. If you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to set such a high price on your continuing education courses that nobody will be able to buy them. Okay, so I want you to think of this as the nursing continuing education that you provide is a tool that nurses can use to develop themselves in areas that they want to grow in. Okay. And that's where this neat thing of you identifying your passion in nursing and really being able to teach that to where it's a pleasant experience for you. Um, and you can also earn money. And I'm not saying that you're going to earn nickels and dimes either. I'm saying you can earn a lot of money teaching nurses and providing continuing education courses. But what you need to focus on is developing high quality, engaging content that allows you to showcase your experience and your expertise so that when you show up as the authority in your field, and maybe you do things and allow your audience to get to know you. A lot of what I do is just what I'm doing today, which is allowing, I come on these live videos and I do some teaching, I do some coaching, I do a little training out here, and this is all complimentary, right? And what does that do? It allows my audience to get to know me. They get to know how I work, what it's like to, interact with me, those kinds of things. And it draws people closer. All right. So they come closer to me and my brand and the kind of things that I offer. This is basic marketing. So When you can provide some things, which this I also do, is provide a few complimentary nursing continuing education offerings that allow people to experience what is it like to learn from me? What is my course content like? Is it worth it to them? Do they see value in it? Do they find value in it? Do they take away the content and find that they're able to implement and apply the strategies that I've taught, right? Those are important things. Those are important things. And so there are some things that I still today provide complimentary or free of charge just to expand my reach and allow people to experience without having to invest a penny what it's like to work with me. And I can tell you, when you provide the give back first, you grow your audience in a way that is truly organic, truly authentic, and you connect with your people in a very meaningful way. Then from there, as you price your courses, I want you to think about things like, what is the cost of, any um, any outlay or overhead type expenses? For instance, website hosting. If you're using a certain kind of video, or maybe have a video editor or a videographer who's doing some of your recording, those kinds of things. What are your outgoing expenses? It is important to know and factor those kind of things in to what you're doing. It's also important to know and understand, what is your hourly rate. If you're doing coaching and training and educating, what would you typically charge for that? All of these things are going to be important to figure out and know. Now, all of that being said, okay, again, there is no one size fits all for pricing, but I want you to consider also, what do you have that is different or unique in the solution that you're providing with your education that no one else is doing? How is it different? Because people will invest in things that are innovative, that are new, that allow them to think of things in a new way, that offer new perspective, and those kinds of things. So think about that. What makes your education or training different? Is it the delivery? Is it how it's your your engagement techniques, or how do you do your knowledge checks, and all of those kinds of things? Okay, so think about that, and all of these things then kind of get factored into your pricing. Okay. Now, I've done great things with pricing. I've made mistakes in pricing. I think we've all been there. For instance, a course that I have today sells for $997. Okay, it's my course called CEU Provider Made Easy. It sells for $997 today. When I first launched it, I had no idea the value of the course. And I also had no confidence in myself. So this is a thing that happens with pricing too. I had no confidence in myself, and so when I sold that course initially, I sold it for $97, many times with a $50 coupon. Okay, and what that course does is walk you through the entire process of how to become a nursing CE provider. The important thing with pricing, even though we can make some missteps, is that you can always adjust it. You can adjust it based on the demand. You can adjust it based on the feedback that you get from people. How applicable is it? How are they able to utilize it? Are they able to succeed and meet their goals with that? So, in other words, when I started seeing that people were taking that course and they were able to become nursing continuing education providers, then it becomes more valuable, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Because this is something that's information is very hard to find. So I encourage you, think about what it is that you have, factor in the things that I've mentioned today, but also remember that the thing that probably matters the least in your pricing is going to be the amount that you personally have invested in your professional education. Okay, in your college and university curriculum, that credential is very, very valuable. I don't want you to hear me saying that it's not valuable. I'm just saying what's going to be of more value as you create nursing continuing education courses is the quality and effectiveness of the courses that you offer. So remember, when it comes to pricing, set your price and get started. Don't overthink it. Set something, and then based on the feedback that you get from the community, you can always adjust up or down. and then move yourself forward along the way. I hope this has been helpful. If you want to learn more about how to create a nursing CE course, I invite you to join me for the Create a Nursing CE course workshop that's coming up June 12th through the 17th. You can click the link in the comments to grab more info. It is a full CE course. You're going to get 5 contact hours for that baby, and it's only $47, and you're going to learn everything about how to develop your very first nursing CE course offering. Thanks for watching. Bye.